Don't put that on there. We'll get flagged. Yeah, I don't want to get. Yeah, well, especially like in the first couple of minutes. I got a copyright strike the other day.
You did?
Because you stole somebody's trademark sign off.
No. It wasn't for this. It was for the video I did. And it's funny. That's like the best performing video that I've had in like solo video.
Caught so much attention that now that the writer's strike is over, you're busted.
We're not supposed to be working.
They're coming for their pound of flesh now since you stole all their hard work. Use AI.
Cease and desist, sir. Cease and desist.
Let AI write it for you.
What was the copyright strike for? Oh my gosh! It was the 5-second clip I used of LA Knight saying "yeah," and then the other copyright was for music that I put on all of the videos. And it said it wouldn't affect me or anything like that, but the WWE one, that was 5 seconds, and they said, "Yeah, you're not going to get anything if you monetize this video." I go, and the guy told, I know. I was like, it doesn't bother me because none of this stuff is monetized. So
did you call Taco Bell and told them to hold the check?
They're paying the fine like Nike.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's yeah. I'll pay for everything. Do you know Jordan? Whenever his teammates, when they used to fight for him and stick up for him, and they got thrown out or whatever, they got fined. He would pay their fines for them. I didn't know that.
That's why he's the GOAT.
Yeah,
when you got that kind of money that,
$3 billion, like they announced
it. Screw you money.
Yeah.
You can tell whatever you want.
Yeah. Congratulations. Andrew's streak is continuing. He's always been the first one in.
Is he?
Yeah, he's
knocking at the door.
He's on like a 6-show streak, man. I don't think he stopped. So good to see you. Oh, there we go. Saying hello to everybody that's in the chat. Thank you guys for showing up tonight on what are we gonna call this? Spooktober, October, something. We got everybody here. Welcome. Frighttober?
Fighttober? Beeftober?
Beeftober, yeah. That segment's not as bad. It's just more of like
Can I give a spoiler for that?
Sure, go.
Sisi and Hezbollah. That's all I'm gonna say.
Sisi what?
And Hezbollah? Hezbollah's been talking shit about Sisi on Instagram. There's beef.
Who's Hezbollah?
You don't know who Hezbollah is? The mini he's that little Dagestaki guy that does he's like a big fan of the guy that beat Conor McGregor. See, Andrew knows.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he's like this little guy. He's like a little person. Here I am.
Look that up. I don't know who he is.
You can say it, can't you? Is it? You can't say midget? Is that the problem? You can't call
him.
No. Another strike, Paige.
Oh, man.
Shutting us down.
It's a reset button.
Hey, it's okay. You're beefing with Hezbollah. You can say it. Who's the guy that beat Conor McGregor? That Nagamadurgov or whatever?
Oh, careful with that. Careful with that N-word.
You don't
want to hit the wrong. You don't want to hit the wrong note, buddy. Don't hit the wrong note. Nain and Najah. It's very simple.
Canceled. I'm done. I didn't even.
Now I got to look this guy up. I haven't seen.
You'll know who Hezbollah is as soon as you see him. He's always shit talking somebody.
Khabib.
Khabib. He's the mini.
Oh, that's him.
No. He's this little person that hangs out with Khabib and makes these funny videos, and everybody loves him. But he's beefing with people. Tyson thought he was like a legit little kid once, and he's like kissing on him, and the dude's like 22 years old.
I don't know if I'd be kissing on a dude or a little kid like that, especially now, man.
You see him and you hear he's fun. Yeah, I know, right? That's a good way to get canceled.
True.
Yeah. Oof, gosh, man. Anyway. All right, let's stamp this, make it official. We'll try to keep on time, right? Boom. Oh, I forgot. I got to put the I gotta put the Rumble stuff up. Are we gonna do guests tonight? I don't know if we can. Might be a little dicey tonight. So anyway, all right, here we go. All right. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 132. My name is Paige, where we can strike this tonight because I don't know if it's gonna really be positive tonight. So, but we're always allowed to have one, right? So tonight we're gonna be talking about a few things. We'll do some Mezco news tonight. Some things that are happening in the community, and then our main topic is beef. And what was the other one? I forgot. I'm so hyper focused on beef. What was it? So hyper focused on that. I don't even know if this is the right one. Is it? Yeah, it is.
Scary movie.
What was it? That was one. That was the foreplay I was gonna do. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
It's all settled in and spooky, ready to cuddle, protect.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I've been killing it with movies. I got like probably, I would say, 10 banked right now. So
You gotta watch Haunted Mansion. That counts, right?
Is it labeled horror?
Oh no, it's Disney.
Does it say horror in the description at all? That's what counts. That's what counts.
Spell that.
Yeah.
It's a comedy.
Haunted.
I could tell you about an interaction that I had with somebody online that always makes for good content, right?
Is that a horror story?
No. But I had some good takeaways with it. After I talked to you guys, I had some good takeaways. That's why I wanted to share it tonight. So, yeah. So, Mezco news, just some stuff. And then at the end of the show, I found
Supernatural horror comedy. Sorry.
Did that say horror?
Yeah, supernatural horror comedy on Wikipedia. Does that count?
Say horror or horror?
Whoa! It's Disney. WHORE, obviously.
Okay, I was just making sure.
No, it says horror. So
okay, I was just making sure. Cece's like, man, this is why I'm not on this show all the time with you guys. And then I found a little clever name for this little segment at the end. We'll call this haunted history. I don't know. I was gonna show you guys a couple of figures that I found. I think some of them I've shown you before, but it's the holiday season, so might as well get into it. Do you guys like Halloween? No?
Yeah. Like,
I love Halloween.
It's different, I mean, like walking around, Sawyer trick or treats, of course. So it's kind of fun watching him get his costume and wander through the neighborhood and have fun with it. We do the with the wagon. There's adult beverages and all the candy you can eat.
Yeah. I miss Halloween, man. It used to be so much fun. You stay out all night, getting all this candy. You didn't worry about anything. Now it doesn't.
Yeah.
No, they don't even seem to come to the door.
Yeah.
You guys big haunted house guys?
Yeah.
Paige is pretty big with it with the Horror Nights. I haven't done any in a while.
Horror Nights? Universal Studios has Halloween Horror Nights.
2 for 1.
And yeah, it's overpriced, just like any theme park. It's just 8 or 9 haunted houses, some scare zones, overpriced food and drink. Like, you would get a legit double there, and it doesn't even taste like it has any alcohol in it.
Yeah.
So we kind of like pregame before we go. I think this might be the first year that we don't go. I'm not too sure. It's just really expensive. I think I spend for Ann and I, because we do express passes. I can't stand.
You do like the express pass too to try to even have a chance at seeing half of the haunted houses.
Yeah, they're open till like 1 a.m. in the morning, but if you don't get the fast pass, you can, depending on the night, I guarantee you'll only be able to do 1 or 2 houses. And some of those houses aren't worth it. Waiting 2 to 3 hours to do. So I get the fast pass, saves on some Angry Ann, and we go do all that stuff, knock it all out by 12, and then we're done. So, but I think for that, to do that for a night, it usually averages, depending on the night, I would say for me, it averages for her and I and express passes and food and shit. It probably costs like $500-600.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's like 5 Mezcos or 1 box set, right?
That's a vortex suit and a slugfest.
Mm-hmm. Can't tell you how many Jada toys I could probably get with that. That's a lot, man.
Oh yeah, you got all the Jada toys you want for the next 20 years.
Exactly.
Root
Yeah.
for that.
Mm. So since I've been on my movie kick, I got
Mhm.
questions for you. I know CC does not like clowns, so I didn't include clowns in this. So, best killer doll: Chucky,
Best
Megan, or
killer doll.
Annabelle?
Oh,
Yeah,
doll. I thought you said dog.
doll. Yeah, best
Ooh,
killer doll.
I've only
Annabelle movies, man.
I've never seen those. I've only seen Child's Play.
You never watched Annabelle?
I don't
Oh,
like scary movies.
Oh,
what?
Yeah, I'm kind of a pussy. Sorry,
you don't
Oh,
like what?
man. 10 minutes. We're 10 minutes. We're done.
I don't really. I'm not a big fan of like scary. Like I'll watch some, but I'm not
Oh,
the biggest fan. Like it's just
oh.
not my thing.
We got to do a watch party and watch one of these scary movies.
You want
Yeah.
to watch me cry in the corner, have
Yeah,
nightmares?
man.
Mm. CC, who you got? Best killer doll? You said Annabelle.
Definitely Annabelle. Yeah.
Okay, I had Chucky.
That's why
Megan was cool.
I don't
Okay.
by default.
You know what's funny is like maybe just Chucky just hasn't aged well for me because like when you go back and try to rewatch those films,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't really withstand the test of time too much. You go back and rewatch it, and I
Yeah.
really don't like what they've done with him on the TV series. I don't like the TV series at all.
Yeah. I was watching some of them. I was watching Nightmare on Elm Street. I was getting that series in there. I'm like, oh man, I don't know about this. Like some of them are kind of some of that stuff you can't get away with nowadays either, which is cool that they actually did it. So,
Yeah.
best slasher:
Hmm.
Freddy, Jason, or Michael Myers, or you can throw your optional in there. Who do you got?
I enjoyed the Michael Myers films.
Hmm. Yeah, they got better too.
I like
I enjoyed those.
when I watched a lot when I was younger. I watched them. Jason or
Jason, Freddy, or Michael, or you can throw your optional in there.
Jason.
Jason,
Corey Feldman
which
back
one?
in the Corey Feldman was in one of them.
Yeah, he was. I remember that he was the boy. Like he was like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Man, I love. I used to. I still do. I like the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, and I really like Freddy as a character. But man, Halloween, because they just rebooted everything.
That's scary though. That one's
Yeah,
more scary to me. Like
yeah, that's what I like about it. It's
has
like,
more jump scares in it, I think, is the thing for me.
yeah, yeah. It's man, there's just those first two that they did were really, really violent. That's what I like about it because of like realism, but to a certain extent, you can't have people
Right.
burning. But this is a good one too because I the last one I had for you guys was best horror franchise, like the whole thing, whole enchilada. So you got like Friday the 13th, you got Halloween, you got Saw, Conjuring Universe, Scream, Chucky. I was trying to think of some other ones, but they all kind of go in different directions. So what do you got?
My favorite for me is probably the Conjuring movies. I really like those. They're good. I really like those.
Did you see the new one? The latest one?
I have not. That's Red Door, right? Is Red Door the newest one? I have not seen that one yet.
Yeah, and then The Nun 2 came out.
Yeah,
Somebody told me that's a good blind buy. I was gonna get that. I like The Nun. I like the first one though.
I enjoy those movies. This is probably my favorite franchise of those movies. I
Did
was
you
just
have a
thinking the other
favorite?
day that I would buy those if they the main characters in those movies. I would buy those action figures. What's the couple's name?
Oh, the Warrens?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'd buy Warrens. Give me a Warrens 2-pack. I'd buy those. That'd be
Hmm.
awesome.
MC, what do you got for franchise? What do you got? What do you got?
Maybe Scream.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I know, right? Like takes the safe route.
No, I like them. I like the newest one, the one that they did when they went to New York.
I didn't
That
see
one
it.
was intense. You
Yeah, it
haven't?
was.
Mm-mm.
It's good, man.
Is that the one that has Jenna Ortega in it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
watch it. I'll watch it during Halloween. I'm pretty. I said I'm pretty selective about what I watch with that.
It's a fun movie.
Is it
Yeah.
like Jason Takes
Okay.
Manhattan?
Nah, not like that. It's that one's kind of
It's the Jason
campy,
Takes
but it's
Manhattan.
it's kind of campy, but it's still good, But
Yeah.
all right. Nobody's here to hear us talk about Halloween movies. They got other channels for that. So let's move to the news. News and notes. Is it up? Yeah, it is up. Boom. So, let's start with this. I checked this, I think, just now, but the last time I officially checked it was 4/11 today, and Slugfest is still up for buy it now. People are getting theirs in hand and everything. And CC, you had a nice little nugget about this, right?
What's that? You said I have
You
a
had
nice little nugget?
Yeah, you had a nice little nugget of observation about this, didn't you?
Yeah. I mean, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is by far the longest available exclusive they've ever had.
Yeah, I think this is the longest they've opened the IP for. Yeah, I do too. I was looking. So, yeah, it's still available. People are getting it in hand right now. Kind of mixed, you know, mixed reviews about it. So it'll be interesting to see where this kind of places because I think when I looked at this, they had quite a few in stock left. So, and it's not going anywhere. So, I'm wondering what they're going to do with this. Owlman charged on Monday, and he's moved to the shipping queue. Of course, we know that doesn't mean too much. You have to wait for official shipping. I haven't seen anybody that's gotten shipping notification for this officially. And then there's Wednesday, and this was weird. Look at this. This is shipping. The advent calendar.
Interesting.
I know. I
Everybody
was like,
tries to buy it now.
you know what? I didn't look and see if it was even available. That'd be interesting. But yeah, maybe it's waitlist stuff. I don't know. And then Robin, of course, that was shipping, and everybody's starting to get that in hand. And then, so D. Oh, let me put this up here really quick. D got in the group today. Boom. See, it's credit. It's easy. It takes like 2 seconds. So D got in the group.
Who's that guy?
He's amazing. D amazing. He's a photographer, shooter.
Makes a couple videos, right?
Really good videos, man. He showed today. He showed this in hand, and he. I'm trying to look here. Where was that? Yeah. So, well, interesting thing I found about this was, you know how a lot of people get on reviewers and they say, "Oh, they never say anything negative." He was pretty. I would say he was pretty fair with this. He kind of gave people a warning about what to look out for. One of the things with the bleeding dye, that's that black part inside of his hood. I guess if you have it on the face, it might stain that face, so kind of be careful with that. It comes with a piece of plastic. So it's cool that he pointed that out. And then another thing that he pointed out was the size difference. And he actually included some photos in there of the figure. This looks cool, man. I don't know why I'm saying that. I saw that SDCC messing around with it, but I thought there's a couple of little differences, but not much.
And that's a hood, right? The cape?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he didn't seem to have a picture with the hood pulled all the way up. I was just wondering what it looked like all the way on.
It looks cool. There's one of the heads that you're going to have a little trouble pulling it over because of the way the hair is whipped or something like that. I remember I had it, and that's why I kept it down. But it looks cool. I think it might be this one because you see how the hair is raised. I had a head on there. I think I used the smirking one because it was the easiest one. But when the hood goes over it, it's a little snug, but it's kind of like Doc Nocturnal's. But that black piece I think he's talking about, the hood inside the hood, if you have it over the face and you have it and it's touching, it might hit like these parts. So just kind of be careful. So he shared some photos, and then he showed a size comparison with this. He comes with an invisible shield. Look. Yeah, capable. But he did a size comparison, and then so a little backstory with it. I took a bunch of size comparisons, but then I put that one photo up, and it seemed like everybody was just like on it, and I'm like, I don't want to feel with this drama, so I didn't post any of the photos, the size comparison photos of Batman, the other Batman.
Yeah.
But since he did it, here you go. Oh yeah, there's this effect too. I thought that was cool. I didn't have that one in the box that I got. So, but here you go. Oh, see, look at that little smart thing. But here you go. Here's your size comparison, if you need them. So I think this is the. Don't mess it up, Paige. Boom. And he's a little tall. I guess it depends on, this version. Damien's supposed to be kid and he's smaller, but doesn't really bother me. I mean, if you're fighting, how close are they going to be like this? It doesn't. To me, it doesn't bother me. It might bother somebody else if they want to keep doing side by side shots, but he is a little taller, so that's Supreme. This will be Sovereign. That's how tall he is with him. And pay no attention to the hip thrust thing. You could put a couple little centimeters on him. This one had some loose legs, and I had to try to pick him up. But yeah, ascending. And then this is him with Golden Age. So you get an idea. It's a little bit shorter, but not too much. So just so everybody knows. Does this bother you guys or no?
We were talking earlier, man. I wouldn't want a Mezco figure that small, because I really think you'd be opening yourself up for a lot of quality issues with something that tiny with small joints and all that kind of stuff. So I'm okay with that size. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to a Golden Age version.
Yeah, that would look really good. Like that classic Robin.
Yeah.
Green shorts and flesh tights.
Is that what you want? You're like, the green shorts and flesh tights. Oh, yeah.
Little pixie shoes.
Yeah, the little. Who has that? Oh, somebody has that. They have those shoes, on another character. I can't remember. So yeah. So yeah, that gives you a preview of this. So hopefully that doesn't take anybody out of it. And I don't personally, for me personally, I don't think it's a big deal because I don't know. You would have them like this maybe, but then other times you're going to have them fighting or doing different stuff and force perspective. But I can see how this might bother certain people if they're going to be putting them this close together. But I'm cool. I'm just happy we got a Robin, right? You guys saw this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let me
Who's
make
that?
sure. It's hold on a second. I want to make sure I give him credit. There you go. Credit goes out to Patrick True in 1985. He was at Shanghai Wonder Festival. I guess this is where they showed it off. But this is the Amazing Spider-Man, the new one that's coming out. So there you go. Everybody was saying, "Oh, this is the figure that we're getting."
Is it 5 head sculpts?
Yeah. And this is a little bonus item right here. I looked on the description. They didn't have that paper in there. And the one that we had at SDCC didn't have it either. But everybody was like, "Oh, this is the first time we saw it." I was like, "Spoiler alert. It's not. It was at SDCC." It's like, it's not the first time you saw it. So they actually showed this. Those glasses, they're removable. Like you said, heads. Those are little trackers, lots of hands. And I guess the feedback with this was the suit. A lot of people were talking about the suit. So
What's wrong with the suit?
Everybody just said it. What was one of them? Color hue. Somebody said that it was darker than it should be. Somebody didn't like, I guess, the fact that, because you kind of got to mix it in there. Where the plastic meets the fabric.
Okay.
So people were like, they didn't like that transition, I guess. And so, it's the internet. Everybody's going to find something wrong. People talked about this part too, the pleather part, and how it might peel off and stuff. So it's always got to be something. So, I don't know. You guys got thoughts on these? No?
I'm excited. I can't wait to get it.
Yeah,
I think that's a new buck.
That's what I'm wondering. So I was just going to say, I'm wondering how much range this one's going to get. Because what was it? This was the pose that D put him in. And so I'm wondering how much more range, Everybody's interested in him going in the crotching kind of like position. Do you know what I mean?
But I won't say it.
You can say, you're a safe space. You're good.
You're not going to get that dynamic posing that you want out of it with this. Enjoy it. I don't know. There's other poses you could do if you want something that'll dynamic pose and you need a highly articulated non-soft goods figure.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you can get some dynamic poses, but you're not going to pull the new Marvel Legends, that new upgraded Spider-Man where he had like the toe articulation, that new waist, or I know you don't want me to say it, but it starts with an M, the other M company.
Sentinel.
Sentinel's great.
But like you said, it'd be hard to do that with soft goods because you're going to stretch everything. That'd be the biggest thing. So you can only go so far. I just wonder which body it is because it's not a very muscular body from the looks of it. So you think it's similar to the Far From Home Spider-Man or whatever?
This one, to me, looks bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the chest area. It looks bigger. Again,
it's hard to tell. The angle could be off. On the photo.
I'm like you said, I'm looking forward to it.
What this one retail for? 150?
No, it was.
Was it 120? It was a little bit more.
Yeah, I can go to the thingy and look at it. I have it on the Q4 list. Nice transition.
Is there a site where we can find all that information?
Yeah, it's Toy Paige. Constantly being worked on all the time. But yeah, I put it on the Q4 list. What was I thinking? I'm looking, hold a second. No, the pricing for everything. I thought it was a little bit more. I think somebody in the chat's already got it, Paige. It was 120.
120?
Yeah, it was 120.
He's going to pair very nicely with that other guy that's in the Q4 release window.
Yeah. I want to go for it. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. There's so many options. So if this figure can't do what you want, there's other price points and other options for you to be able to get what you want. I always look at it, how like some of the comments have already been about, the soft goods. That's what you get with this company. You get all the joints and stuff covered up.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I love the way doing these Halloween shots, man. I really like the way Mezco figures like photograph. And I don't like a lot of joints. I've gotten to that point where I'm like, it looks funny, even though Mezco does it with some of their stuff. But I like the way they photograph. But then they have other figures that articulate better than what we don't know quite yet. So but we'll see. We'll see. Did you guys pick them up?
Yes, sir.
I don't know. Cece did. Cece, did you pick them up too? Because or was this before when you started getting a little bit more like choosy about what you pick up?
I just secured a pre-order today.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did tell me that. Yeah.
Today. Yeah.
I was trying to get surprised.
Yeah.
Well, we can add this to the Q4 list because that's going to be coming out, right? So add another one. Another one.
You're
And
talking about
then
Spider-Man, not what you're showing right now, right?
the Spider-Man.
Yeah, because right now you have something else up.
Oh yeah. I was just saying add another one to the Q4 list, and then looks like we can probably add this too. Would you say? Because
It looks pretty done to me.
yeah. So also again, thank you to D Amazing for providing these pictures. This is some Toy Fair. I think you can see his reflection in the thing, can't you? Look at that. Those little black fingers. Yep, that's him. Tell him anywhere. That's him. That's the ID check. But yeah, D sent these. I mean, D had these. And we got to.
He's a hand model.
Yeah, he is.
This is watermark.
So you got side cutter. More. We get to see more than we saw from. There was somebody else that had another picture, but then there were pictures also from Comic-Con, but they just had the figure out. But you can kind of see all the accessories that it comes with. Just looks like some color variation.
So it looks like they added the Joker from Gotham by Gaslight's accessories to this release. All those instruments on the side there.
Mm-hmm. You got some new stuff there.
Which is a cool setup.
Yeah, but you know what the focus is? The focus is that, well, yeah, it's just this is recolored, and then they gave this stuff, and then all of that is.
He looks more like the Hatbox Ghost from Disney right now. I like this. I can't wait to get this one also.
Do you like the color of this one?
I do.
CC, what do you think about this? Because it's, is it, like he pointed out, if they're just putting this in there and they do a color change, is there something that like hook you into this or no?
I've got the first one already that I still haven't opened yet. So I can't imagine, jumping in and getting the second one, not to be open. So willpower. I'm practicing willpower here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll be on the hook for this. Damn it.
Wait, so this is supposed to be a Diamond exclusive, right?
Yeah, so for people that aren't familiar, Diamond, they used to distribute comics and figures and stuff like that. And they had these PX exclusives. You've probably seen some of them. They had alternate versions. Some of them were just outfit changes, color variations, and stuff like that. But they were pretty readily available through your, I guess, the group sellers. They would have Diamond accounts, and they would be able to vend them. And then also some of your major toy vendors like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, they all carry this. I don't know how, because they are just coming back. And then if you look at this sticker, I'm not trying to create hype or anything, but this says previous exclusive limited edition. So I don't know how many vendors are actually going to get this and what the quantity might be. I don't remember offhand because it's been so long. I don't remember seeing Mezco have PX exclusives on their sites. Somebody asked me that. So.
I was just gonna, for those that have not done this before.
Yeah. Somebody messaged me and they said, well, are they going to sell it on their website? I was like, no, I don't remember them doing that. I used to get them through my group dealer. And then I think I got one from Big Bad Toy Store. So they carry them. So keep an eye out. I'm pretty sure this will get announced, but this is probably your biggest thing. If you're on board with this, you don't want to miss it. Just make sure that when it goes up, you grab it if you want it.
Do you think that Mezco will announce, like they do with their other drops, even though it's through another distributor? Like, obviously it's a Mezco product, but do you think they'll throw the tweet out in the Instagram like, go to BBTS today at 11 or 1 or whatever? What
They
do you think?
used to like do like a kind of like complimentary post where they'd say, you know, I've seen those where they're like, oh yeah, the new Black Adam's out or something. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't. But again, this has been a while. Like you remember when you said it was Harley the playing for keeps. It's been a while since we've seen a PX, so I don't know how they're going to handle.
I can't remember how that went. It's been so long. I don't remember. I don't know. I
I
guess we
got
try to
mine through
forget
Rodney.
Ron.
Yeah, he had a part or whatever it is. He had an account with Diamond, and then the one before that I got from Big Bad Toy Store. So I'll just keep an eye out. You never know, right?
TC, I'm gonna put you down for 2.
Yeah.
Oh, and this kind of goes into what we were talking about. So we discussed this before. This is one of those extra kind of entries into that list, that Q4 list that we were talking about. And so we'll move on to I Gotta Axe to Cry. I'll try to go through this really quick. This is really quick. We've all seen this. We all talked about this before and everything. And just highlighting some of the stuff. And also to caveat on what D said. D put that post up, and this is part of it too. Like a lot of people took those pictures that he had of Spider-Man. They're just blasting them everywhere. No credit at all. So that's kind of part of this too. Is like people will take information, they'll put it out, and then when people have questions about it, they can't answer it because they weren't the original person. It's like, you stop stealing shit and claiming that it's yours. It takes like 2 seconds. I've done it like 3 times tonight. You're just giving credit to the person that put the work in there, and then they can answer the questions that you can't. I saw some guys getting on there just making up shit. Like, what are you doing, man?
Do you remember there was some guy at San Diego Comic-Con that teased a figure, and then he took the picture down. You know where I'm going with this. Of a certain Indiana Jones figure.
Yeah.
And then somebody posted that picture in another group, and I called him out, and then he was direct messaging me, telling me to mind my business, let it go, leave it alone. Then he blocked me, told me to go do something to myself that CC will censor me if I say it. So, and then he blocked me. But all I was doing is like, I said, hey man, just give credit to the person. You didn't, like, you're not at SDCC. I know the guy that took the photo. Just give him a shout out in this. And I don't know if he did because he blocked me. So I
think people really like,
so
and it sucks because I saw it happen to him. I just saw it happen to D. But I don't think people realize, I get it's the internet and you're just trying to share stuff and everybody's excited and you want to do it. But like I said, what happens sometimes is like people think that you did it and you put the work in. It's like, you didn't do the work, man. He got this figure, however he got it. He took the pictures for it and you're claiming it. And I get it, but it was even put on there. What did it say? I don't know, I'm paraphrasing. It said something like, not my photo, from somebody else. I'm like, dude, you know who you got it from.
Yeah.
Like, just put his name. What's the big deal? Guy. Yeah, something like that. And I'm like, you know who you got it from because you took it right off of there. And it's like, and then I saw earlier on this week, like I said, somebody was asking somebody a question about some of the information. This guy got stuck and he's like, and he started making up shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, you don't know, and it just causes this big circle in the community because now you got some guy pretending like he knows stuff and he doesn't. And it's like, God, dude, it's like, it only takes like 2 seconds. It's not gonna hurt you. Yeah. You just give credit, bro. And so and like I said, I'll really try to make this quick, right? So we all saw this, right? We talked about this last week. This is the Q4 projected releases, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So something happened last week, or this week actually, and somebody had got on and they saw this list and had a conversation about it. And this person came in And well, what they said to me was, it does say Q4, right? I'm not missing anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
It does say projected, right?
Mm-hmm.
It does say projected again, right? Right. I just wanted to establish that. So the guy, he gets in and he starts asking questions, and I get it because it's a post and it's information, and you want to make sure that you pass on correct information, right? The comments will start off pretty good. Hey, thanks for doing this. Didn't know this was coming. Hey, great reminder, stuff like that. But one of the true gems that I saw
Mm-hmm.
from some guy was saying he asked a question. And he said, "Yeah, but how many of these have actually dropped in a month?" And I thought this was just a question to ask. Well, what are you basing the information on so it'll be credible? I said, well, they've actually dropped 8 last December. That was last December, right?
Yeah.
And the whole point again of this post was just to say, hey, just be prepared, right?
Yeah.
So he messages me back and he says, hey, I just looked it up, and the highest number of licensed products in Q4 was 12. And he said licensed product. So it's like now you're moving the goalpost with this and you're putting licensed product when all this was is supposed to be just an information post, right? And I
Yeah.
was like, that's cool, but you're solidifying my point that there's a lot of product coming out. And like I said, this is just to warn people what's going on. And so I was sitting there thinking about it for a second. I was like, you know what, this is like a moment to just take in and maybe explain some stuff to some people. And he's like, and he kept going on about the licensed product. And I was like, man, I understand the goalpost moving, but when you look at this, what do you see?
I see a lot of licensed products.
Exactly.
I see a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, man, all you're doing is just solidifying what I'm saying. Like, it's just an information post. And if you're saying that it was 8 to 12, that's what this is going to be. So I learned something from this. I learned there's a lot of people out there. I think that they just want to argue with stuff. They just want to they want to be heard about something and they want to argue a point to be right. And like I said, a lot of people are just out here just trying to help people and put information out. That's it. They don't want any problems or anything like that. They just want to put the stuff out. If you like it, take it. If you don't, throw it right back. It's totally cool. But even if you look at this, 5 of these, like I said last week, $200 to $400, man. And if you didn't know anything about this line, or you didn't know this stuff was coming out, and you didn't want to check each and every single page, you'd be caught off guard. And I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you right now, people are gonna be caught off guard with this stuff. You better be careful. I'm telling you, some of these dates haven't changed. So lesson learned. Not trying to argue with anybody here, just trying to provide information. And this is something you can't tell people in a message. You can't type it down and be like, hey man, all the stuff they just explained. So I learned a valuable lesson this week. Valuable lesson. Any thoughts? Nope. I think that was
It's I've seen a lot of times that like you said, people are just looking for a fight. You can tell them the sky is blue, and they're going to argue up and down. There's not like you put out a post and said, hey, all of these figures are coming this fourth quarter. Nobody said that, and that's the last thing honestly anybody would want, right? I remember last December when people were literally begging Mezco to stop charging so people could catch up. Remember? Like that December hurt everybody. And it almost seemed like Mezco did kind of lighten up. And didn't we go almost all of January with no more drops? I think they gave us January off. And then I think we went back at it in February. But, like they were literally saying, please, not another charging notification. Do you really want to see charging notifications for all of those projects here this fourth quarter with, the Justice League said, and the Turtles said, and the Fantastic Four said, and the Power Rangers said, Dick Tracy 2-pack, right? Like that's bucks. And those folks that were smart enough to pay for their things in advance, they're going to be laughing the whole time because they're good, right? Like I envy them, but that probably just shows that's kind of the way to go, because it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. MC, you have anything? No?
No, like I think you hit the nail on the head when you said there's just some people out there that just have nothing better to do but to argue and want to just distract you from doing other things just by sitting and got to get the last word in. Always, and try to spit shit. And it's not true. Pull up the hashtag. Pull it up. I know you got to sit in the hole.
Pull it up.
I know you got to sit in there ready to drop.
Yeah, it's always locked and loaded. I had it at the top. Oh, and then I put questions up there.
Look
too.
At that,
Boom.
Dr. Doom.
Boom.
Right there. Hashtag quit bitching.
Wait a minute, is that for me or is it for the other person?
No, not you. That's for the people that just sit and, there was a I don't know if I want to say it. Let's just say the internet never forgets when you say things. And my response is I can't wait to circle back to this comment.
Yeah, I think there are many quick interactions if you aren't familiar with proper etiquette. And I'll say this too. I had a great conversation with Steve about this, and he really centered me on some of it. Trust me, I'm not mad about any of this stuff. The only thing that I think about it with is what I learned from it. And it just seems it happens more often. But when you hear a lot of the complaints in communities about how information it's not concrete, or you don't have any reliable sources and stuff like that. I'm not saying I'm the only one or the one, because there's a bunch of other people in the groups, including the company, when they do put out information that you could take it with, instead of listening to some of the people in the groups that all they're doing is just stirring stuff up, and it's like, I don't understand why that attention and faith isn't put into those reliable sources. I mean, D's one of them. He works for the company, so why wouldn't you take any of the stuff that he says as, as what it is? So, but Steve had a good thing. He's like, oh man, there's gonna be a lot of people like that, and I was like, yeah, it doesn't bother me. It's just kind of weird that somebody wants to argue just for the sake of arguing. So, like, especially when you have stuff like. I put a lot of time and effort into this kind of stuff. And it's not that part that gets to me. It's more of like, yo, I didn't come up with this on the fly. This is actual information. It's verified.
Yeah.
And then he's just saying, that's the way it is, man. People are just like that. But that does lead me into the other topic, because I want to try to get through this so we're not harping on it. And so it's not like, a bitching show or anything like that. But you got to get it out, right? It's October, right? You have some time.
What's amazing about that lineup right there? Like if I showed you that and said, hey, this is a schedule for the releases for 2023, how satisfied would people be with just seeing that? That's like a year's worth of releases to me right there. You knew you were going to get those 18 figures for the year, and then plus whatever surprise drops Mezco had, I'd call that a pretty damn good year.
I almost feel that there's literally something for everybody just looking at this. If you can't find a figure in there that you relate to or want, I mean, I know Rumble Society isn't represented in there, of course, but those typically just come when they come. But I mean, it hits all the marks. DC's covered, Marvel's covered, G.I. Joe is covered, nostalgia with Dick Tracy in the Shadow. I mean, there's just an obscure figure like Owlman, like Power Ranger. I didn't even, Turtles. There's literally, there is something in here that resonates with all of our youth, or currently as well. But who can say that they didn't have one of these figures when they were a kid in some form? If you collect for the nostalgia region, which something we talk about a lot, with Joe's and how we're trimming our lines and stuff like that.
Mhm.
You know, like who didn't have a GI Joe if they grew up in the 80s, or a Spider-Man figure, or you know, like the old Secret War Spider-Man figures, or the old what were they, the Superpowers with DC. I mean, there's I know everybody had a Ninja Turtle or two laying around, so it's just great. It's ticks all the boxes.
Yeah, and some of these things I missed out. Like I don't know if there's another company that I'm sure Dick Tracy's been done before, but I don't know another company where I can backtrack and do it. And I can do that. I have the Rebel Tech Turtles, but I haven't really messed with them that much. But I'd love to have an updated, and everybody swears by the Rebel Tech Turtles, but I'd love to have an updated Turtles. I don't collect NECA. And so there's certain stuff on here that I don't want to go back and pay more money for. Do you know what I mean? And I just like the line. So, like you said, this is something for everybody. And if it's not something that people want or anything like that, there's other options. I think that's the biggest thing. Like you'll see people look at the list and go, you know, it's like, dude, there's other companies out there, man. You don't have to do this.
It's pretty impressive looking at what we have.
It really is. It's a good looking fourth quarter.
That's the key point too. It's just the fourth quarter. That's not the shit that we've gotten already.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've literally been having so much fun this last like 4 or 5 days, digging out old figures and taking pictures, man. You know, I got lost one night. I was looking at the clock and I go, oh shit, it's 11 o'clock. I'm supposed to post a picture, but that's such a cool feeling to have. And that was with an older figure. I know a lot of times we just get these figures and we just put them on the shelf and forget about them. There's all that hype in the beginning. Oh, where's our stuff? Where's our stuff? Where's our stuff? We get it and then we just throw it on the shelf. And it's cool to fill in some of those gaps where we're like, where's this figure at? MC's messaging me like, I mean, MC's so cool because he's trying to tell me and keep me informed. He's like, yo, Solomon Kane, I got tracking for it. It's supposed to be here this day. But I wasn't like mad about it or anything because I'm like, there's so many other things I can mess with until those figures come.
No, and you know, I just do that to keep you, because
To
those
rub it
that
in.
don't know, Paige and I are very similar in zip codes. We're very close, and you know, it just depends on who treats Kevin better that gets the figure. So Kevin's back in our arms, right, Cece?
Good old Kevin.
Back where he belongs.
Kevin.
And he's armed.
He's back with the good guys.
He has no loyalty.
Welcome home, Kevin.
Yeah.
I took care of that guy too.
I'm glad CC signed you back up for that Jelly of the Month club.
Yeah.
I can't believe you fell for that. Jelly.
The jellies are pretty good.
He's giving straight cash and he's taking jelly.
Yeah.
God. Well, that also goes into this kind of this next topic too, which is here we go. Beef. Bum, 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 bum.
Wasn't quite sure what was going on there.
Beef. Quick question. What do you feel constitute beef?
Oh boy.
Yeah. I want to hear that.
What are we talking here? Are we talking about personal beef? Are we talking about like
Let's just stick with internet beef. I think it's simpler. I think things in reality are different when you have a problem with somebody, but when you have internet beef, I think
with
it's
a person we're talking about though here, right?
Yeah, it can be anything.
Yeah.
Internet beef.
Company?
Yeah, you can throw that in there. I think it all falls under the same thing. It's, you know, what constitutes it. What do you feel creates it?
So, do you mind if I go first, CC? Because I know you're going to destroy.
Go ahead.
Anyway, I think obviously we are not young men anymore, and we grew up in a different time before we had the internet at our fingertips and social media platforms. So, you know, our voice was only who was listening to us via phone or hanging out on the corner, you know, talking shit, playing football with our friends or hockey or whatever it was. You got a problem with a kid at school, you know, you guys dusted up either there or, you know, playground 3 o'clock, no cops, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then you either shut your mouth and you moved on to the next thing, or your friends, you know, again. But here it's like there's no escape and everybody has a voice and everybody thinks they're I mean, obviously there are tough people on the internet that run their mouths. Conor McGregor, obviously one, but like these, I know, like obviously we talk, but some of these people are just so dumb and they're just so petty and so they just run their mouths and they're getting that shit wouldn't fly in the 80s and 90s. You get stomped out.
Yeah.
It's easy to run your mouth from 3,000 miles away.
Yeah. What do you think, CC? What do you feel about it?
We've kind of talked about this a little bit before. Like, I have no problem exchanging ideas and opinions with people, and I consider myself to be very open-minded, right? Like, I'm always willing to listen to somebody's take on something or things like that. But what I really can't tolerate is the condescending comments, right? Like, if you can't make a point without it turning into name calling or some sort of a personal attack, we have a problem. We really do. And sometimes I just scroll on by this stuff and leave it alone. But then sometimes I feel like there's guys that are just trying to steal the joy from everyone. And I feel like when you just continue to walk away, then it just kind of gives them the room. And I said, I'm not the one to stand there, and I'm not going to name call, things like that. I try not to do that kind of stuff. I try not to do any personal attacks. But I usually don't have a hard time kind of supporting my statements with some facts to go along with it.
Right.
And we've talked about that too. At the end of the day, we're all in these toy groups because we enjoy it. And I feel like if you're not getting an enjoyment from it, then it's time for you to go ahead and sell your collection and get out of the group and let the rest of the world be alone. There's nothing wrong with that. I feel the same time when I interact with some of these people in person, where like if you're that miserable of a person, in all honesty, there's no need for you to interact with everybody else. Just be miserable alone. Is that too much to ask?
Yeah.
I had an interaction with somebody the other day, and after I got done, I told one of the people that was next to me, like, why can't they just die quietly? What it is, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Die quietly. If it's that bad, die quietly. Leave the rest of us alone. We're good. But it's really like they just gotta have that. They don't want to see anybody else enjoying it. But I'm not gonna let anybody take my joy. I love the figures. Everybody knows I spend way too much time and money on these things. But I'm not gonna, just let somebody come in and just, tear the group and or the figures down for this reason. There's currently one guy that's really high on my list. I won't say any names, that I keep an eye on what he posts because I'm gonna hold him honest. There's no reason for you to be negative all the time. No reason.
Why don't you just
every time that you say something negative, I'm gonna be there to point it out. Is that wrong? I don't feel like that's wrong.
Well, is it? How how in groups it seems like I'm not trying to put classifications on people, but it's okay to say something negative or not favorable or however you want to frame it. But then when somebody does say something that you do like, it's name called and it's talked down upon. And it's almost like only one person can get their side. I know negative people probably think that about positive people, because I've said it in the group, I'm like, hey man, if you're just gonna be really negative, and I really need to kick that word out of my vocabulary and just be like, if you're just constantly just gonna keep being negative, not just saying as an instance as one, because people try to twist that. It's like, no, I can't criticize. I can't say it's like, no, you're not criticizing something. Right. You're just negative. And like you said, there's a lot of times you can point out, hey, here are all the times that you're being negative. You're doing this. It's not somebody saying, you know what, I'm disappointed my figure broke and I'm really mad at this company. Totally get it.
Right.
You're the guy that just keeps doing it.
Right.
And so is it right or is it fair to be able to say, yeah, if somebody says something, you should be able to dish it back to them?
I feel like it is. I feel like it is. Right? Like if if I put it out there and like I said, once again, I don't have any problem backing my statements up with facts or the reason why I feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem doing that, and I can do that without calling you names. I can. And if I were to say, hey, you know what? When when Doom ships here pretty soon, right? And I get that figure in hand, and I'm like, hey, this is figure of the year for me. And then some guy posts, this is trash. You better be able to tell me why you think it's trash. Otherwise, we're going to get a response. If you say, hey, I don't like the articulation, it doesn't have enough accessories, then I can respect that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can respect that. But for you just to, throw a blanket statement out there and just feel like because that's your opinion that, everyone has to agree, I'm not cool with it.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of it going in the community. Everybody knows that there's these different instances lately with certain people. I'm not pointing anyone out. I'm not pointing those people out. I want to be very clear about that. I don't want to get any message of somebody say, "Yo, I heard you was talking shit about people." No, not at all. But it's using it more of an example. And one thing that I noticed is with a lot of this stuff is a lot of it is miscommunication. Maybe not understanding because we're like, we use the chat. That's why we have people come on sometimes, but that's why I've been doing it. So you have a better feel of people. But like sometimes you misread stuff that's typed out and sometimes you don't. And so that's what I mean about the miscommunication part. If you're, dude, this is a very, I know there's a lot of money involved. I know there's a lot of groups with a lot of product, but this is a very small niche hobby.
Yeah.
And when you type something about somebody and say, yo, this guy is a shill, I don't like this guy, or fuck this dude, I'm telling you, 4 people have already screenshot that and sent it to the person. 2 of them are your friends. Not you 2. But do you know what I mean? Like, there's guys that are doing this stuff, and it's like, and then especially when you, and I don't like doing this, but when you start getting to these higher echelon guys, the ones that are, popular in the groups, or they're popular in our community or something like that, that shit's gonna get laser sent to them quickly. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. And just like Cece said too, some of these guys will say stuff and the internet doesn't forget. And so if you say something about somebody and expect them to have this relationship with you or talk to you, it doesn't work that way. I'm not built that way. If you say something about, I'm talking about just me now. Like, if you say something about me and I see it, you're shunned. I can't do it. There's no point. Because if you said that publicly, I don't know what you're saying about me privately. And you have a problem with me.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
I had a guy, he messaged me, and I know people are probably going to take this and try to connect this with certain people, and whatever you're doing with that, that's not it. I'm putting this as a blanket statement. This isn't directed at anybody. Because anytime I've had a problem with somebody, I've told them I had a problem with them, and I've told them what they've done. The example I'm using right now is more recently. The gentleman, he had said something, and then he messaged me and said, "Hey man, why aren't you talking to me?" And I sent him the stuff just like I do anybody. You said this. What do we have to talk about? And he goes, "Oh no, you're taking it out of context." And that seems to be a running theme with everybody. I've seen it not just with me, but with other people. People go, "No man, you took it out of context." No, I took it the way I wanted to take it. So like when people talk about people, you need to be very careful. It's a small community, and this shit lasts a long time, and you never know. You might be in the group and that person might be selling something. Or you maybe need to talk to them about something. So that's what I mean. Just be careful about what you're saying. Because you've seen this other stuff. People hold on to this stuff. I don't forget about it. I'll just say, "Hey, you said this. This is it. I don't want to rock with you. It's not good anymore." So
Agreed.
MC, nothing? MC?
Yeah, I mean, it's just some of these. I'm trying to not. It's hard, it's hard to say it without naming instances. But some of these people, they go on my block list, that's what it boils down to. And nobody really talks shit about me. I'm not really any, you know, I'm just another guy in the community. But you know, like people that are negative all the time and shitting on things, I just block them. Like you guys know, obviously, you know, like I'm like, you guys show me a post or something, like I'll never see that. That dude's on my block list, or
Mm-hmm.
fuck that guy, you know, like, or I, you know, they could, you know, some of these people, they'll throw 100 negative things out there and one positive. That one positive for me isn't enough to, you know, like you're negative all the time. And like, you know, like Cece said, like, fuck Doom, trash, fuck that Gomez, trash, fuck this, trash. Mighty Mighty for Power Rangers, well done, Mezco. Well, guess what? I'm not going to see your post because I don't need to hear it. Like, you're gone. I'm tired of seeing negative shit in my feed, and it's my feed, so I can pick and choose who I want to be in it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Cece said that, and I couldn't. I've been taking that in more, and the part of that, that's what I was wanting to talk to you guys about that we just didn't talk about, because it seems like that's the next step of it. You say, oh well, I'm gonna, whoever this person is, I just don't need to have to deal with them. And you block them, or you just restrict, or you don't even talk to them. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times I can't block everybody. And what's funny is I only have, like, I could probably count 2 or 3 people that I've blocked, period.
but you're in a
You know?
different situation, to be fair. You know, like as an admin,
Yeah, you don't
you
get the luxury we have.
yeah, like
Yeah.
you know, you gotta
Yeah, I
you
would be
gotta deal
blocking so many
in those
people,
people.
bro.
You definitely need to keep, as much as you want to block them if they're in the group. You need to probably keep an eye on them a little bit more often. Whereas, you know, Cece and I were like, fuck it, you're gone. You know, I leave groups, things like that. You know, there's groups that have like the same circle of people. They like cycle through groups, cause chaos, and then they form their own little group, or what, you know, like, so it causes me to leave. My group list is very small and my block list is very long. So
Yeah, but it just makes for a better experience. You don't
right.
have to deal with that kind of stuff, and then
Yeah.
that person, and I'm not innocent at all. I know I've seen it because people will type me messages, oh, F you Paige and blah like that, and then I'll look at my stuff and then I am blocked, and I'm thinking, hey, that's great.
Yeah.
I
I've seen
really don't have to. I'm like, you saved it for me because I don't have to deal with you anymore.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I have been blocked. It doesn't bother me at all because that's not the kind of energy that I want to be exposed to anyway. But identifying the problem is one thing, but then trying to find a solution for it is a different thing. You
Yeah.
know, you don't, because you don't want to be a dick to everybody, and I don't. I would much rather have conversations with people, and you don't want to have beef with people. I really don't. As much whatever perception people have of me, I don't want to have any kind of negative interactions with people, but I do have them, and I'm very used to it. Trust me. And like I've said it before on the show before, like the stuff that people that I send you guys to say, hey, what's this? You know, it's kind of like, what the hell's going on? I've had 100 times worse in my first week of basic.
yeah.
The things that was said to me when I was deployed by people in other countries, you can't touch. You saying F you Paige, I don't like you. That that's flea
Yeah, that
shit.
ain't it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, especially, you know, like the same, you know, been through the military, and first week of boot camp, you learn words that you thought you knew, but yeah, not in that context. Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I want to like, I really think communication is a big part of this. I think that a lot of times I do think things are misunderstood. And that's why I told that story before, because you try to have conversations with people, you try to open it up with them, but I think a lot of people aren't open or receptive to it. I think everybody has to prove they're either right or they're wrong. There is no gray. And it's like if you throw that mentality out and you want to just have a conversation with somebody, maybe that would help some of this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Do you think, and obviously I'm not gunning for the big one, the big beef topic, but you know, like I'm not calling that one out specifically, but do you think some of this is for clout?
I don't know, because I don't think anybody ever really wins. Even when I'm in the group and somebody says something and I call it headhunting. Because what happened, it's like the prison mentality. People will go in there and say, that's the guy, and I'm not saying I am, but you can see it any toy group, any community. They go, this is the person that has some kind of notoriety. I need to go up and I need to punch him in the face so everybody sees. And they do try to do that they do. And because you get noticed when you start arguing with somebody. And so I've learned it really quick. Yeah, asserting domination. You're like, you want to be seen for somebody. And I'll give you the blueprint. You guys know, I'll talk to you 2 or 3 times, but if it seems like you can't stick on topic or you're just like moving goalposts and you don't want to have a discussion to either have a better understanding or resolve something, I don't have time for it. I really don't. I'm talking about it here because I think it's something that people could learn something from. Just talking to people. We bring up that story with MC and I, like all the time. I mean, with CC and I. It was like, what's going on here? And then we messaged each other and we talked. And it wasn't what we thought it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you were cyberbullying me. I remember that.
Yo, man. I'm not gonna say that shit in the group. Yeah. But it was the communication, right? And then look, if you'd asked me 2 or 3 years ago if we'd be doing something like this together, I didn't really know you, but I'm like, no, I don't know him that well. But we talked, and then it carried over. And a lot of time that's a good thing. So I do think that there's time for talking and stuff like that. Somebody said something else that was really impactful. I think I was talking to a friend of mine, and I think the biggest thing was that if there was like some kind of miscommunication or something like that, instead of trying to be like sly about it or do stuff like that, if you've done something, you should, and you understand that the person felt a certain way about something, I think the first thing that you should do is start off a conversation and say sorry. I've done that many times. I'm not infallible. I know.
Well, you're
I'm
in a
not
relationship,
right about,
so we sure you have.
I know, right? Dude, I think I've said sorry to Ann twice ever.
I think
she's never right. She's never right. Oh, real quick story. Can I tell you this?
Of course.
Okay, cool. So we're going to vacation in Vegas. And while we're there, we figure we'd rent a car and go drive to Horseshoe, you know?
Uh-huh.
That big thing that they always show?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen it? And then also the Indian, the Native Americans, I don't want to call it. So Native Americans, yeah, I know. So they have the Antelope Canyon there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go there. We were in a car, we're driving. She got tickets for like 2:00. So we're driving and she goes, oh my God, we're going to be late. We're going to be late. And I'm like looking at her, I'm like, no, we're not. And she goes, if we're not there, we're going to lose the deposit and everything else like that. So I'm going like 90 to 100 miles an hour down this road, trying to make this 2:00 appointment when it says it's going to take us 2 hours to get there. And I'm like, hey, I'm not going to get in a wreck. We'll just get another time. So we get there and she's looking at her phone and stuff. And she goes, wait a minute, what? And the phone's updating.
All the time.
The place that we were at, it was this weird gap. They don't have a time zone. And so she was going by, and so she was like, I was like, see, I told you everything is going to be okay. And I look at like, you're wrong. Oh, yeah, it was fun, man. It was a nice trip. But anyway, yeah. 2 times I've been wrong with her. But during those 2 times, I've said sorry. And I meant it, because I looked at it from the other person's point of view and I said, you know what? I totally understand what you're saying. I apologize. And I don't think a lot of people can do that online. Especially if you tell them, hey, if you're having a discussion with somebody, you say, hey, what's going on? And you say, well, this and this. Like I did with this person recently. They said, dude, you don't talk to me. And I was like, yeah, man, I just don't have time for this. Every conversation we have is an argument. It seems like you're just trying to do stuff. I don't feel like doing it. What am I doing? You're doing this, 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 and this. And trust me, if I've already given you 3, I have 9 left in the chamber for you off the top of my head. I don't do it off of like 2 things and say you did this or you did this. I got like 9 or 10 things that you've done that I just don't agree with. And he's like, well, I didn't do this. I'm like, you did. And I was like, here you go. And I show him. I'm like, here you say this, 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 and this. And he's like, well, I don't know what to do. And I go, well, nothing. I'm like, we're good. I was like, just hope you understand the relationship we have.
Yeah.
You know, one thing my parents taught me is like, going to the apology to build off it. You never apologize with a but. Like, I'm sorry, but it's either you're sorry or you're not sorry. And I think that goes a lot further when you do apologize to somebody. Like, you know, like Cece, if you and I are feuding, you know, how would you feel if I say, you know, Cece, I'm sorry, but you know, I don't agree with what you said. I still stand by my point that, you know, chocolate's better than caramel. You know, like you're like, no, because then we're back at square one again. Like you should just say I'm sorry and leave it at that. I'm sorry I didn't see your viewpoint, or I'm sorry that it's come to that. You know, like just don't make just own it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to learn from it.
Yeah,
and it's not everybody's different, but hopefully people can kind of understand certain things, you know, and see there's different ways to handle stuff, and you know, internet versus reality, because that's another thing too. Uh, I showed you guys that dude that said, "I'll be at SDCC next year. I'll see you." I'm like, "Yeah, you will. I'll be there." But it's like, I mean, I'm like, come on, really? Are we really gonna duke it out in front of the booth? I mean, it's not gonna happen.
We're gonna throw down.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, man. I mean, you don't know you don't know where I've been, and you don't know what I've done. I'm not saying I'm gonna make some kick-ass dude. I'm like, but I was in the military, so you don't know what I did.
You don't know if I'm packing. You don't know nothing. I mean, like
You don't. You don't, and I don't know anything about you.
Yeah.
But to sit there and throw down at a convention, it's just like, come on, man. It's and that's what I mean. You're gonna see these people eventually, you know. So why not have a better relationship? And if you can't have that relationship with them, just be like, you know what? All right, just leave it.
You're gonna spend all that money to get into SDCC, and you're gonna come over to the booth and start a fight with somebody so you can get bounced out. Because who's gonna get who's gonna get
That's
bounced?
what this person was implying to me, that they were gonna come and they're gonna find me. And I was like, hey man, if that's what you want to do, that's not talking tough. I'm just saying, like, if that's how you feel about it, that's weird. You know, why don't you have a conversation about it?
And you know, like that dude will get bounced out. They're gonna take the guy that's got the badge working the booth, his story over some asshole.
Yeah. And but there's a bunch of other ways that you can handle that kind of stuff if you feel that that's the way you feel. Just leave the person alone. And like I said, I'm talking about my experience. Like I showed you guys that. Like, hey, you know, I'm like, hey, that's, you need to relax, man. So I just think communication is a little bit different, and being open to that communication with people. I think that's what's missing a lot. And if you can't get along with them, hey, sorry, we just don't vibe together, and then that's it. And there's nothing wrong with that. So, conversation beaten into the ground. Yes, we're done. Let's get to fun stuff.
We settled the beef.
It is settled. Dude, I don't have. Yeah, I tell people all the time, dude, I don't have any beef with you. I like, as soon as we have the conversation, I let it go. I've told everybody that I've had this kind of conversation with that. You have beef with me? Not at all, man. What is it? I would find any 3 of you and get drinks. That's what I'm talking about. Let me see. So the next one that I have for you guys, so like haunted history. Haunted history. You know, it is the holiday season. And so I figured these shows that we do, the next couple ones that we do, maybe make them Halloween based. Are you guys really into Halloween? I know we'd like to, you know, what is it? bag snatching and stuff like that. I know we all like to do that. I don't feel bad for any kid if I bag snatch because they're just gonna get another pillowcase and they're gonna go to more. Hey, real quick, what is the cutoff age for trick or treat? I had this dude. He looked like he pulled up in his car, came out, knocked on the door, got candy, got back in the car, and drove off.
Was he in costume?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a makeshift costume, but what's the cutoff, really?
Anytime you can drive yourself to trick or treating, you can drive yourself to the store and get some candy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. So it should only be little kids trick or treating.
Yes.
Yeah. Especially if they're cutting in the line, you know. Excuse me.
Yeah.
We got the peanut butter cups over here. You guys ever see that rock?
There's adult Halloween parties out there.
Rock and oh geez, no, got a blank. Oh geez, what the hell is it? Kevin Hart rock commercial with the trick or treat? He dressed as a rock.
Yeah, it's funny.
Give me the big candies. No, you get a fun size little. Rock's giving out pennies and raisins.
Dude, those dudes, they hang out, man. They make some good stuff together, man.
Oh my
feed
God.
off each other pretty well.
I would love to just be in their presence when they're hanging out, cutting on each other.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be hanging with them. I'll just be a creeper in the corner listening to them.
Time to stroll down memory lane. So, I wanted to try to do other companies, but I don't really collect them. And so, if you guys collect NECA and do other stuff, but there's a story history with Mezco, and it's so close to our hearts. So,
are these shots from inside the vault?
No, they're not. These shots. Great segue.
I didn't. I'm just asking because I know you have. I've heard the rumor that you got some stuff.
I have this one. But the shots and information provided are by Halloween Love. Thanks, 2 seconds. That's all it took. You see that? Yeah. It doesn't even detract from the segment. And I'll put it up a couple times. Boom. Boom.
Yeah.
So this month I wanted to focus on horror figures, specifically Mezco, because a lot of times you can kind of get a glimpse of the future when you take a look at the past, right? So this week we are going to take a quick look at the Silent Screamers line. We got it right here. Nosferatu, 1942. So back in 2000, yeah, this company's going to fold.
Yeah, that's bankrupt.
Yeah, any year now they're going to go bankrupt. So this was before they were called Mezco Toys, and they were actually known as Aztec Toys. You can kind of see it up there in the corner. And they introduced a new line. It was called the Silent Screamers. The first one that was offered was Nosferatu. This one looks familiar, doesn't it?
Very.
Yeah. I bought this just for the rats.
Really?
So I have a bunch of rats. This one doesn't have the price tag on it, but do you know what this originally sold for?
$14.99.
Oh, you're close. You gonna do $1, MC?
Closest to the actual retail price without going over
is
$1.
These all kind of average around $12.
I was so close.
I got you. So were these sold in retail or were they? I know
toys.
Internet orders were. Oh yeah, we did see a price tag. Dang it.
Yeah, they was these. So I know. There was a print interview I saw once where Mezco said that they didn't want to have these kinds of toys in stores. Like when they hit Mezco Toys, they wanted to have their own stuff. So I think these were kind of sold in places like KB Tower, other places like that. You could kind of get them. I've seen different stickers for different ones.
You know what's crazy if you think about it? So that retailed for $11.99. So you mean, Mezco was probably selling these to the retailers for $6.99, $7.99. You know what I mean? They had to leave plenty of room for markup.
Yeah, and these, man, I'm not joking because I have Captain Nemo. And I think I've said it on the show before. Man, it was $25. That was $20 or $25, and I need to do like a reel or something on it. But the amount of detail that in the sculpting that was put in these, they're dated, of course, because of the articulation, but the sculpt work is amazing, and the accessories that you would get with these.
Yeah.
Like I said, with this came with the rats, and it came with this muddy floor and a backdrop part. And just for looking at it now and saying this was $12, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow.
How close are those rats to the ones that are included in the current? Well, I mean, obviously they're not current offerings, but the 112 line, are they similar in sculpt?
A little bit. They mainly have like a lot of paint variation, but I think the other ones, they come kind of like, it's like deep cut kind of sculpting.
Mm-hmm.
These actually, it looked like they had like fur, kind of. At least the version I had. There's two versions of this. There's I think three. There's this one. There's a sepia toned one that's kind of like a black and white one, kind of like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's decolorized, I guess. And then there was one. It has some kind of like where you put it in the sunlight and it would change color.
Wow.
Zartan version.
Yeah, exactly. And so the first one they had that came out was Nosferatu 1922, and then this is the next one. They had Knock Renfield. There was only 4, so we're not going through like 8 or 10 of these. So it was Knock Renfield.
What is that
Is part of the, this is from, I think it was from, what is it? I think it's from the 19 Nosferatu. Yeah, right there. It's been a while since I saw the movie, so I don't know if there's actual character or if it's part of a character, if they made it. So you got me on that one. But it does have realistic detail. You get diorama. So not only you got a figure, you got diorama, and you got accessory pieces. Again, for what? $12. A film cell collector's card. Hey, that sounds very familiar. I know Nosferatu got that film card.
Mm-hmm.
And then I talk about this one quite a bit. This is the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Came out in 1919. But look at that, man.
Wow.
Like sculpt work and then also paint work and accessories. Same thing. You get all this stuff that comes with it. And then they also had, we won't spend too much time, but then they also had Cesar. This is also from the movie, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Look at that. See? Aztec toys. Boom. And then that was their last one. And then they kind of went on when they changed. They kept the Silent Screamers line. They changed to Mezco. And then you had Dr. Jekyll and Hyde. So this is part of the Silent Screamers. This is the real Masters. I guess it's like a little bit of an offshoot. And then they had this one, Frankenstein, $12.
Wow. That skull is nice.
Yeah. And then they had Gollum. This was pretty interesting because I was trying to see if it was like polystone, but it was a big 11-inch tall, 20-inch base that you can kind of see behind it. And I think he was the tallest and heaviest one that they came out with. So remember these. And then the last one they came out with for this era that we'll call it is Metropolis. This from that silent movie.
Mm.
This is cool. I have this. I have this one and I have Nosferatu. I haven't picked up the other ones yet.
Looks like it's got decent articulation too. I mean, like sitting in a throne.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like it's wonky.
Yeah. So when a lot of people are seeing, because it's it's Halloween season and people are asking, again, all this information was in part by, or in total of, Halloween Love and John Squires. Thank you, sir, for providing that information. I'll put the link in the description below. But when you look at these, you can kind of say, okay, Silent Screamers, maybe they'll start taking some of these characters and bringing them back a little bit more updated. But you can kind of see how some of those characters, they may either be outdated or they might require a lot of sculpt work or design work because they're all unique.
Mm-hmm.
So the question I had for you guys was, if you could pick one of these to be done, I guess I should pull that up again. Which one would you do? And if not, what character would you like to see in a Sonic Screamers live?
The Frankenstein one.
It's pronounced Frankenstein. Just kidding.
Frankenstein.
That's from Mel Brooks' movie. So this guy?
Yeah.
Oh, a face that only a mother could love.
Almost like they could almost do that with kind of like a modified side cutter buck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because of the arms and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his face looks gnarly. That's good.
Have they ever said who does Mezco's sculpting?
I don't think officially. They do some great work. I'm pretty sure it's probably a team of people.
He says probably what?
I would think it's probably a team of people because you can tell
Yeah.
like some of the sculpt work is different, but I'm not.
So do you think it's all like they don't like outsource like that kind of stuff? It's all kind of in house.
That I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't feel comfortable saying that.
You know what I mean?
You know,
Kind of
like-
Four Horsemen does sculpting for other companies, things like that. I just wondered if they, do they work with different sculptors on different projects? Maybe certain people have
Yeah.
certain expertise. They go at it with a vision. I'd love to know how that development process works.
Yeah, I would too, because you're sculpting and then you got to make the mold. You're sculpting for the molds that they make.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then there's so many projects. I always think that there's more than one because you look at some of the sculpt work, and even though some of them are kind of consistent, some of them are very detailed. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you could tell it's gotten better with some of the comic characters, but you remember they used to get tagged with that. It had a soft face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Compared to one of their own IP stuff. So
Yeah.
maybe, it would be really interesting.
I'd love to know. Is there somebody that does like the accessories for them? Is there somebody else? I'm sure there's like you said, a team of people.
Mhm.
You don't seem to get that detail from anywhere else. So whoever they're using is pretty good.
Yeah, I wonder if they have them kind of like locked up,
Yeah. Literally, got somebody chained up in the basement.
Yeah. So, Steve, I'll make sure that I put this link to all this information that this gentleman gathered, and I'll put it in there. Maybe that'll be able to answer some of the questions that you have. I have bare bones knowledge of this, just kind of what's in the article. So hopefully that'll help you. Steve said Frankenstein does look, very side cutter. Present, but late present. It's good. You got the check for it. You got check for attendance, buddy. We just got done showing the Ninja Turtles unboxing. You missed that. You missed the Doctor Doom unboxing.
Yeah.
And what was the other one?
Gotham by Gaslight Batman.
Yeah, we did that one. And then there's one that they haven't even announced that'll be up for pre-order tomorrow. We just showed all that and you missed it. So
Hint.
kidding. Well, good to have you, man.
Just another show.
Standing.
you know.
Mez was on earlier too.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah. MC, what do you got?
So
You
I'm
can
glad
pick
I
from
get
here or
to think about it. I had more time, and mine is to you like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, like to use in a Victorian era. Like I like that area, but it would go good with Vaporoni. It would go good with Gotham by Gaslight. It would go good with Joker, Gotham by Gaslight. Like it would just there's a lot of use that I could get out of somebody from that era as a figure for shots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like these characters. Dude, I like what all these companies are doing. Like you'll see, like if Fury Toys, you'll see all these other companies, and they're coming up with these unique characters. It's not the same thing. I like that. It gives you more different playability for not everybody's making Wolverine, if that makes sense. Do you know,
Right.
like there'd be a time where all companies were all trying to do the same thing, but
Yeah.
now you have them specializing in stuff. I saw someone with a what was it with Mythic Legions? They said that they were doing something too. Is that a new wave or?
They're doing some kind of alluding to an army builder wave, kind of.
All new figures.
Yeah.
They're
All
doing
new
a new
figures?
reveal every day for the next, was it 5 days? They're revealing a new figure.
Oh man, those dudes are gonna go broke. Because didn't they put up a pre-order? They did the figure obscura. They did that
Cosmic
pre-order wave closed out, right?
Yeah, Cosmic Legions. And there was All-Star Wave before that one, CC, or was it?
There's 6 figures in this reinforcement wave.
Yeah, reinforcement.
Man, yeah, forget that.
Get your wallets out.
Not them. I'm just saying.
Well, what's interesting is that not only is this going to be a buy now on the 14th,
Yeah.
you know, there's a few outstanding pre-orders that, you know, haven't delivered yet. So it's interesting.
Cosmic
You
Wave.
got Toy Con or whatever it is right around the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
New York City Comic Con's this weekend, isn't it?
I think so. I know that they were doing something like back to back with the other thing. It almost seems like there's a convention like every month. It's
Yeah.
almost like the WWE, you know, when they used to just have like a couple of main shows. Now there's like Backlash, Payback,
Yeah.
Backstab Back.
Yeah.
And then you got a main show. It's like, wow, but it's cool. I don't know how people travel and get to all these places, man. You know, once you have press card and maybe you're getting funded through your viewers and stuff, maybe through Patreon and everything like
Yeah.
that. But it's crazy. Like I saw some guys. I know D hit 2 or 3 of them in the last couple months.
Yeah. It's too
That's
much.
insane. So yeah, that's our show. Do you think we should do guests? It's probably too late to do guests, right? We did this in an hour 30.
Yeah.
Record.
You want
Personal
I
best.
know. Yeah. We probably hampered MC a little bit tonight. So we get this more content. Ooh, God. All right. All right. Halloween movie recommendations. Go. Who do we got?
CC?
And then we can end it.
Ooh, Halloween movie recommendation.
You can't say Zombie Strippers. I already watched it.
Nah.
I enjoyed the most recent Halloween. I enjoyed that one.
The Kills? The one where Michael's old? Or
Yes.
Evil Dead? Somebody said Evil Dead. Halloween 1978. Yeah. I need to watch that. That's on Vudu, and I think they have it on for sale. I think it's like
I'm trying to think if I have like one favorite scary movie that is like my favorite. Probably Conjuring.
Jeez. You guys are
I like Conjuring.
And you said you didn't see The Red Door, right? You haven't seen that one yet?
No.
Yeah.
No, I missed it in theaters, and like I keep waiting for it to stream because right now you have to rent it. It's like $20. I'm not gonna rent it for $20. I'll either go buy it or, you know, at some point I'll be able to stream it for free. I'll wait. I'm patient.
Yeah. I saw this the other day because it was on HBO. Yeah, I saw this. I rewatched it because I fell asleep, but that one's, oof, God. They did a good job with that one. Evil Dead Rise.
That's a newer one, right? It's like a
Yeah.
origin story, right?
No, it's almost like a continuation, and they did it in, I'm probably going to mess this up, in New York. It was in a city kind of thing, in an apartment building. And the girl, it was good, man. I really liked it. I remember when I went to go get Sam Raimi's autograph on Ash, the girl handed me a poster And I felt like an ass. I go, oh, there's a new Evil Dead. He goes, yeah, because he was involved in it. He goes, yeah, you should watch it. He goes, it's gonna be really good. I was like, okay. And then I saw it and I go, holy crap, man, this is intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is another good movie. The Nun, Scream.
Steve Morrow's comment. It's funny.
Man, what's MC? What do you have? What do you have for movies? Too many theaters for Paranormal.
Think about it, Mr. Crane, Disney movie.
Oh yeah.
Ichabod. No, I'll say because that's the easy way out. I'll pick a scary movie. Silence of the Lambs.
Oh yeah,
I know it's not a Halloween, but it's a scary movie to watch during. Like it's just a thriller. That one doesn't bother me as much because there's not the jump scares, but it's just psychological and it's.
Yeah.
I am so proud of you, MC. I just knew you were going to say wedding video.
Wedding video.
Yeah, that's what you told me in private. Was that your wedding video? It was like a scary.
She's in bed. I'm safe.
Game. I saw this too. I saw that one when they're out in the cabin. There's Ann and I watched this one before we watched Rise, and there's that. They kind of stick to the original theme of it, and the girl, how she gets possessed. I was like, ooh, this is intense. It's the tree entry system that was taken with her. I was like, whoa. Yeah, if you haven't seen that.
Huh.
My wife, I did that one already, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Barbarian. Wow. When I was watching Barbarian, I kept thinking to myself, what was the other one? There's another one. There's a series of movies that we watched. It was Tusk. There was another one, and I said Justin Long is just the guy that just keeps getting
Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, we watched Jeepers Creepers, Tusk. There was another one too. I don't know if it was Barbarian, but there's another one where he's on the water tower. And I'm like, Justin Long is gonna get killed, and he did. I was like, yeah, he's keeping the streak going because he's. Have you ever seen Tusk? Have you seen that movie? Mm-hmm. Oof, yeah.
That one.
Watch that one. That one's kind of wild. I watched Smile. What was the other new one? What is it? Talk to Me. I haven't seen that one yet. So, Sleepy Hollow or Interview with the Vampire. Or John Carpenter movie. Yeah, those are good. I tried watching a couple of the new episode of Interview with a Vampire. I couldn't get through too much of it.
Did you ever watch Teeth?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was trying to think of it, and I cheated. I looked it up, but I'm like, what's that movie about?
Yeah.
Have you seen that, CC?
I don't think so.
Google Teeth movie.
Yeah. Just watch the trailer. You'll be good.
You'll appreciate it.
Yeah, it explains a lot. All right, well, that's good because we'll keep this kind of light. Yeah. Even though we had some good heavy conversations. Detox, get it all out. Yeah. Seriously. Be good to each other, man. Seriously. It's just yeah, I wouldn't go that far. But just, it's a small niche community. We all need each other. And if you can't get along with people, my wife loves the pimple popper. But yeah, it's a small community, and not all of us can get along. If you can, definitely do it. And if you're not, just kind of like leave each other alone. But yeah, people watch us from outside and go, God, these guys. So try to do your best. I hope everyone has a great Halloween. Are you guys going to be doing Halloween shots, you think, or no?
I want to try to do something that Adam is doing. Awesome Adam.
That idea is nice.
Is so sick.
Tell him about that idea. Tell him.
Did you see it, CC?
Is that the Vapor Terrors?
Yeah.
Really cool idea.
Yeah, he did that shot where Vapor was like in a coffin and he had his match going, and it's just like, dude, he crushed it. Like, and he's trying to, is it vapor tear? Is that what the hashtag is? So if anybody is interested in trying something different and you follow Adam on Facebook, something cool, creative, it's Vapor Terrors, Vapor Nightmare. I can't remember what it is, but he's trying to do like a themed shot for the month for Vapor. I don't have very many horror figs that are Mezco. I have, Sod Cutter and Nosferatu. I'm not a scary guy. I like rom-coms. Give me
He's ready for his Adam Sandler figure.
Who is that? Who's that one guy that was big in the '90s? Hugh
Grant.
Yeah, give me a Hugh Grant figure with a Sandra Bullock. I'm all in. No, I'm kidding. I don't watch movies either.
At least you said Sandra Bullock for Hugh Grant.
Yeah, I don't watch those movies for real. But it's just the jump scares. I try to they make me scared. Like Unsolved Mysteries did when we were kids. You'd watch Unsolved Mysteries. You're like, fuck that. I'm not taking the garbage out tonight.
Yeah, man.
Robert Stack.
Everything was so much scarier then. Like things were. Now I was watching some of these movies. I'm like, this is a lot of violence and gore. I was like, and it would have scared me as a kid, but now it's almost like you're desensitized to it.
Thanks, social media.
Mm-hmm. Did it show up? There we go. So here he is. This is his idea. Awesome Adam. So yeah, this is it. So welcome to Vapor Terrors. For the month of October, I wanted the different horrors that Vapor can go through. I'd love for you to join. Just use the hashtag and make a sweet, scary photo. I think this is from Buried. With Ryan Reynolds. You think?
Oh yeah.
Or it could be from The Nun when he got buried in there and they had the bells. Have you ever seen that scene?
Never seen the movie.
Yeah, there's a scene in The Nun where they're talking. It's a graveyard, and she's like, "Why do they have bells?" And she said, "Because sometimes people." Well, the guy said people would get buried alive, and if they were, they could ring the bell and they could dig them back up. And so the premise is when they go through this graveyard, they hear bells ringing. You're like, shit. But then when he gets in there, like ghost teleported in there, and he's like, how the hell did I get here? He's ringing the bell, but you can't hear it up top because she's up walking around. And he's like, get me out of here. So it's probably not what he's going for. He's probably going for Buried, but that's what they reminded me of.
It was cool. That was a great shot. Great lighting. Great. The guy crushed it. Good job, Adam.
I love the idea because there's so much you could do with it. You could have him running from Freddy or Jason or Pennywise.
He did a great.
They all float down here.
Mm-hmm.
I like that he showed his seaside for that as well.
Oh yeah. Oh, he did. He did show it. Hold on. I saw it. I don't know if it's here or.
Did he make a reel of it?
Reels. Yeah.
Which I always like when people do that, because
there we go.
It shows how much work they put into the shot. Also, hey, this isn't, and this is something you could do at home with a little bit. It gives people guidance that are new. I just really am very appreciative of when people throw up what they worked on to do it.
It looks really simple too.
Yeah, it's just a couple lights and he crushed it.
So you think it adds more value, like when somebody shows what they did?
Yeah, to me, it's just, I'm not saying that, this obviously is. I'm not saying it's simple. I don't want it to come off like that, but the thought process that he put behind it, and it shows how he executed it. Like it's,
yeah.
If you could put creativity down and show how he came about it, that's great.
Yeah, it's really good, man. I just like the concept. I mean, I like the shot, obviously, but I like the concept as well. You know,
Yeah.
he was telling me, figure up screws, fire. Hey, Paul, how you doing? Oops, I don't want to be on, looking at that stuff.
Agree, Paul.
Vapor is very versatile. Yeah, I saw somebody selling that clock separately
Yeah.
for one thing. So I got a clock from my Vex display. Yeah, we talked about that too, man. I mean, I saw that out of SDCC. I'm wondering if that's going to be coming or not. So that's another one you could add to it.
Another one.
Another one, yeah. I'm like CC with this. I'm like, all right, I remember all these people that were talking about this stuff's not going to come out from this list and everything. And then at the end of the year, when I do the list, you'll see all this stuff. So, well, that's about it. You guys got anything you want to close out with? I sure appreciate it. Slightly
As always, remember to help control the pet population.
boom.
Please have your pet spayed or neutered.
Yeah.
MC, you get to take us out. I already went on my diatribe earlier. So.
You get to steal D's this time.
Still, no, gosh, no. That 8-year-old appeal to start at the table. Just to reiterate what Paige said, be kind. Don't be a troll. Don't start shit just to be a dick. Just be kind. Quit bitching.
I'm laughing at the quit bitching part, not the other stuff. Everything else is, yeah.
So I threw it in there. But no, just be kind. It's easier to be nice to somebody and talk about positives instead of jumping on that hate train.
Yeah, even if you do like to hate on stuff, there's other guys you can have conversations with that about too, right?
DM me for names. I'll send you my block list.
Yeah. Yeah. There's people for everybody, but yeah. If you can't, just don't talk. Don't talk to them. Everything's good. You got your lane. They have their lane. Everybody's good. Thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Hopefully the conversation wasn't too heavy, but we like to have some of these so we're not talking about Mezco all the time, which I love to do.
We talked about Aztec toys.
We did. And we talked about Mythic Legions.
Yeah.
We have to figure out something for next week unless they drop a pre-order, you know. Maybe
Well, the
that's
Star
the
Wars
case.
are going up for pre-order this week too. The Star Wars I shared with you guys.
I'm safe.
I think I'm gonna get one or two or three.
Which ones you gonna get?
I would get. For those that don't know, they are doing the Black Series in like a clear figure, so it looks like the hollow pucks where they're a hologram, you know, like a bounty chip, like a bounty pucks. They're doing Han Solo, Mandalorian, Bo-Katan, Ahsoka, and Axe Woves. And they come with a light. The puck lights up. The figures are clear, so that is a neat concept. I would think maybe one or two of them would be kind of cool to have. Be a good Force Ghost too if they did like Anakin or something. But
yeah.
But I would get Ahsoka, Mando definitely, and maybe Bo-Katan because I really like that character too.
These light up?
Yeah, the base of them lights up. It was each one is an exclusive though. Like if I remember right, Ahsoka is Walmart Collector Con exclusive. Mando is Disney Plus or Shop Disney and BBTS. Bo-Katan was Target, and I think
sounds like a lot of work.
But they're releasing on different days though. Like I think Han Solo's everywhere, and he releases like the same day as Mandalorian does. So it's like each day you go to somewhere else. I think Walmart was Ahsoka, and it's like next week. So
it's kind of like a little scavenger hunt, I guess.
Yeah, never. I don't get it. I'm not gonna cry about it, but
yeah,
I'm not paying secondary market for it, so it's just not meant to be.
Yeah, I don't like doing that anymore either. Oh, all right. Well, we are good. Wait a minute, really quick before we get off. What's everybody got coming that we all got that we can have a play party with then I guess next week?
Robin.
I don't even have anything for that.
I got Slugfest and Solomon Kane arriving tomorrow.
Oh, I don't even have anything for Solomon Kane. And Cece, you said you didn't pick up Slugfest, and then I can't remember about Solomon Kane.
Do you want me to talk to Kevin? Just say it. We can do something.
We'll put in a good
No.
word. Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna keep
No,
this
no,
internet
no.
beef with Kevin going then? Go ahead.
No, it's a good humbling experience.
Yeah. You thought you had him in your pocket.
I paid out of pocket. Just kidding. All right, this is good. Thanks everybody for coming out. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching the video, checking us out, supporting, being nice, saying good stuff. You guys rock. I hope you get a lot of candy, and if you don't, let me know. I'll go back snatching for you. I don't know why Brother Love popped in my head just now. It's like, love you.
The dude with the red face.
Oh yeah, I saw the figure the other day. It was kind of funny.